What's good, everybody? Welcome. I hope you guys can hear me. Give me a yes, we can hear you if you are able to hear me. Before I even get started, I'm testing out a new program, as you probably can tell, so I want to make sure you guys can hear me before. Uh-oh, I have an echo. I can hear that already. Give me a second here. Let me figure this out. Because I hear an echo. Let me see. Do you all hear an echo or is it just me? Could be just me. Okay, so you hear it go. All right, let me fix that. Give me a second. Let me switch some things around here. That's weird because it wasn't echoing earlier. So let's see here what's going on. All right, hang tight, guys. Y'all know how it is. Anything's gonna happen, it's gonna happen during live. Let me see. Can y'all hear me now? I don't think y'all can probably hear me. Let's see. Oh, wait, I don't hear the echo. Are we good? Am I good? Yes, no, maybe so. It's good? Okay. Yes, I figured it out. All right, I figured it out. Okay, so. Whew, that was nerve-wracking. All right, let me take this out. I don't need this anymore. All right. Still haven't figured out how to get the comments on the screen yet, so I'm still working on that, but I can see them on my other main screen over here, so I'll just have to look over. So before I get started, let me go and get my hellos and welcomes, and thank you for being here. What's up, Unbiased? So glad to have you in the building with us. What's good, Big Rooster? Thank you for being here. Many blessings to you. Congratulations on that milestone on your channel, my brother. I tell you, when I grow up, I'm going to be like you. Thank you to my girl, Late Night Crafting with Stacy. What's up, sis? Glad you're in the building with me today. Marilyn's in the house. What's up, Marilyn? Who else we got in here? Craftable Things, I am honored you said hello to me. You're here. Did you bring my salmon? You know I was going to go there. You have the best lunches ever. You can make me move to Florida just so I can just sit at the table with you, okay? So thank you for being here, sis. Thank you, King Morgan. Welcome, sir. Thank you for being here. Say hello to your beautiful fiance, mother of twins / mother of 3. We are so excited to have you in the building. Tell her I said hello and keep being great because y'all are doing some amazing things over there on you all's channels. You got your channel and she has hers, and together y'all are an unstoppable force, and I'm honored to be able to sit back and watch y'all create some great content. So keep being great. All right, let's get on into this thing. Listen, I'm going to talk about something very personal. I literally did not want to have to do this. I did not want to have to do this. Last year, this topic was supposed to occur, and I was asked by some loving people at the time, because I kind of put the poll out there on Facebook. And I asked people what they thought, if I should talk about it or not, because it keeps happening. And they said, no, Kim, God has blessed you. Keep living your best life. Don't worry about it. And I've been trying to do that. And if you're on Facebook and you're seeing this, head over to YouTube if you're trying to leave a comment if there's something you want me to see. But thank you all as well for being here. Now, let me give you some backstory before we jump into this thing, okay? Because as you can tell by the title of this video, we're talking about decisions, we're talking about perceptions, we're talking about jealousy, we're talking about envy, we're talking about insecurities, and we're talking about love. All of these things balled all up into one we're going to cover in today's discussion. Because I know I'm not the only person that has people that have a misconception about you. People look at where you live. People look at the car you drive. People look at how you raise your children. People look at how you dress. They look at what school you went to if you went to school. They look at all of these things, and in their minds, they base their decision of how they perceive you on what they see, without even taking the time to even get to know you, understand you, walk a mile. Matter of fact, take one step in your shoes. And I've gotten to the point where I've had enough. And today we're going to talk about it. We're going to have this heart-to-heart talk once and for all. Because I've reached the age, I've reached a place in my life where enough is enough. I grew up in the projects. There's no nice way of saying that. I come from the projects. I come from a small town in North Carolina. My mother's apartment had 5 rooms in it. Not 5 bedrooms, 5 rooms. We had a living room, we had a kitchen, we had 2 bedrooms, and we had a bathroom. For the first 13 years of my life, that's where I lived at. I saw more activity in that small apartment than I've ever seen in my entire life. But no matter what happened in that apartment, whoever came by, because it was like my mother's apartment was the place to be. My mother raised me as a single mother up until I was about the age of 4 or 5 when she married my stepfather. So you had my mother, my stepfather, my 2 older brothers, and myself in this 5-room apartment in North Carolina. It was tight. My brothers shared 1 bedroom, and I had the other bedroom, and my mother and my stepfather slept in the living room on a fold-out chair. We had 1 bathroom with all of us trying to get to it. And all my life, I always was the odd man out. I was the only girl. And so being the only baby sister of 2 older brothers, that had its challenges in itself. They didn't treat me like their little sister. I was like, one of the boys. So when they would go out and play in the dirt and rocks, I was right there with them. When they climbed trees, I was right there with them. When they tried to play sports, I was right there with them. When they got in fights, my little self was right there fussing and arguing. And it's 9 years between my oldest brother and I, okay? So here I am, when they say knee-high to a duck's tail, and my brothers are tall. And so I'm sitting up there just being as rowdy as they are, because those are my brothers. So I grew up in the projects, and if you've ever rolled through a project, grew up in a project, I'm sure you can relate. That was not an easy place to grow up in, but we made it. And I thank God for every single day He allowed me to make it through. So I don't hang my head on that. But that's where I came from. But just because you come from a place does not mean that's where God wants you to stay. Does not mean that that's where your journey begins and ends. I think about it like this. Imagine being in a marathon. If you've ever seen a marathon on TV, or maybe you yourself have ran one. But if you look at the layout of a marathon, you have people in the front and then you have a bunch of people behind them, right? But everybody's number one goal is to make it to the finish line. Now, you may start out in this race. It may be you and 20 other people. Y'all are running. Y'all are all beside each other, right? But as the miles go on, you will notice people will start to fall back because everybody's endurance is not set up the same way. Everybody's training regimen is not set up the same way. So as you're running mile after mile after mile, you will begin to lose more and more people behind you. Or maybe you yourself may be the one that's falling back, because maybe your oil light is on. Maybe you don't have enough gas in your tank to make it to the finish. So your body has said, hey, slow down a minute. You can't keep up with horse girl and horse boy up there. You got to slow down. Okay, they Clydesdales. You just a little bitty baby pony. You need to slow down a little bit. So that may be your story. But your end goal in your mind is to finish strong. Now, how does it look if you're in the front and you and your people are beside, like just a team of y'all? So y'all are running right there together. And the goal, y'all said, we're going to finish this thing together. We're going to finish this thing strong. But y'all are running and you maybe hit mile 15. You feeling good, right? You feeling real good. Y'all hit mile 20, looking good, feeling good. You hit mile 30 and you notice the people to your left and right are looking a little weak. They're a little tired, right? So you're thinking to yourself, do I slow down to stay with them? Or do I listen to that still voice on the inside of me that's saying, hey, let's go? That pull that's inside of you that's saying, come on up a little further. You have another gear. Now, if you think back to my last live, we talked about pivoting. And it's amazing how God works. Because my entire life, I've had to pivot on something at some point. It wasn't planned. I didn't ask for it. I didn't pray for it. It just kept happening. And that voice that was on the inside of me kept saying, Kim, shift gears. Now, here I am looking at other people saying, I don't know if I should shift gears right here because these are my people. These are the ones I love. We in this together. But then I can't ignore the voice of God that's saying, Kim, come on up a little higher. I have something else for you. I didn't ask God for this life. I didn't ask God for my humble beginnings, but it was a part of God's plan. Why? Because God knows the plans that he has for each and every one of us. So I'm running this race and I hear God and I see the people around me. And the first thing out of my mouth to God is, I don't want to leave my people. I don't want them to feel some kind of way because I'm following you, God. So I had to get to a point in my adult life and make a decision. Am I going to sit right here in this barrel and settle right here? And whatever happens, happens. Or am I going to listen to the voice of God, the Holy Spirit that is within me that's calling me? In the middle of the night is calling me. During the day when I'm just teaching my daughter or minding my business, I hear it. You feel that thing. You feel God. You feel that, hey, I need to pivot. Look, I got something else in the tank. I need to shift gears. Am I supposed to ignore that to make other people feel comfortable around me because they didn't shift? Or maybe that wasn't God's road or plan that he had for them to travel. I've gotten to a point in my life where I just don't have time to baby anyone. I don't have time to sit here and continue to dim my light to make other people feel comfortable. I just don't. It's costing me too much. The anointing that God has given me, just like he has given everybody in this world, there's a cost and there's a price to pay. There are sacrifices that must be made. And it's up to every single individual to decide, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with your life, with your business, with your nonprofit, with your friends? What is it that you are going to do? So I had a decision to make. So January of this year, I prayed a prayer, and I'm going to let you in on it because it's so relevant now. God has been doing it for the last 8 months, and I'm like, what's going on? But then I remember the prayer that I prayed at the beginning of this year. And now God is bringing everything full circle, and he's reminding me, Kim, you prayed this. So I'm a God that cannot lie. And so what you prayed is in exact alignment with what I'm going to do for you. In January of this year, I prayed, thank you. And I said this specifically. And this is why we have to be so careful when we pray. Very careful. I said, Father, I said, as I'm heading into this year, if there is anything that is attached to me in any capacity that is not sent by you, remove it from me, or remove me from it or them. I prayed that prayer. Ever since the beginning of this year, God has been pivoting me. I didn't know why. I didn't know what was going on. I thought maybe I was losing it. I thought maybe the people I was around was losing it. Like little petty things. People were saying little snippy stuff, underhanded stuff. And in the past, the old Kim was like, no big problem. I'm good. You know, you can have your opinion. That's fine. No big deal. But as the months have gone on, I realized that if I said it, and if God is doing it, I got to put 10 toes on it and stand with it. I asked him to remove people and things, situations from me that was not sent by him. And now that it's happening and people are showing me how they really feel about Kim, I can't ignore that. I have to literally open up my eyes. Hi, Dimps. Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Sarah. Hi, T. Johnson. Hi, Merlinda. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. Hi, Taryn. I have to literally open up my eyes and ears and realize what's going on. If you have ever at any point in your life loved somebody or loved a group of people, loved your family, and it didn't matter how much you loved them, how deep you loved them, how many sacrifices you made to them, how much of a guiding light you tried to be, how much of an example you tried to be, how much support you gave, how many kind words you said, how many prayers you prayed, how many sacrifices you made. Doesn't matter. Because those same people will be the exact ones to break your heart. They will break your heart quicker than anybody outside. You already know when you walk out your door, you already going to have to face Satan and his minions. You know that. You're going to have to face the enemies, your ops, and all of that. You're going to have naysayers, haters. You're going to have blockers. You're going to have all these oppositions coming up against you. You know that. And if you don't live long enough, you will find out very soon, I guarantee you. Because nobody gets through this life without some type of problem, some type of issue, whether you have an issue or somebody has an issue with you. But it's a part of growth. And it's sometimes the ones that you love the most will find it the easiest to hurt you. But here is something Kim respects. I respect when an individual tells me to my face, I don't like you. I don't love you. I don't want to deal with you. Or whatever real emotion or feeling they have against me, I respect it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because then Kim knows I'm loving you too much. I'm too close to you because this is a lopsided relationship. If I'm loving you till it hurts, like I'm loving you to the point I will give you my last to make sure you are taken care of. But if you're not doing the same for me, we got to reevaluate this thing. Because there are some people that you will meet at different points of your life. You will meet them at different stages of your life. Some you will meet as children, some you may meet in your 20s, some you may meet in your 40s, so on and so forth. You're going to meet them at different stages of your life. And it's so sad when people try to hold you to the stage that they met you at. Because if you meet me today, 10 years from now, I'm in the same position. I'm doing the same thing that I was doing when you met me. That means I'm not growing. That means something is going on with me. That means I need to reevaluate my life and myself because I'm not growing. My goal in this life is to die empty. Whatever God gave me, whatever knowledge he's allowed me to acquire, if I'm not passing that on to someone else that's appreciative of it, that's going to do something with it, I'm not doing the right thing. I'm wasting life. I'm wasting time. And I made a vow to myself this year. I'm not wasting time on anything or anyone that don't want it. I have spent most of my life trying to pull people into their purpose, trying to pull people to show up in their businesses, to pull people to show up in their relationship with God, to show up wherever they're saying they want to be at. I've had people reach out to me and say, Kim, I want to do investments. And I'm like, bet. I know people that do investments. Let me show you what I know and let me hook you up with them so, hey, we can all grow together. It's about legacy. But these same people, when I'm doing my part, they aren't willing to do theirs. But then these are the same people that'll come to me and say, I don't have any money. And these are the same people that'll sit there and throw salt on someone else's head, that will throw a brick on somebody that's barely staying above water. They'll throw a brick on them because they haven't did for themselves what they should have done. Could have been in the same place that somebody else is at, but instead of doing what they need to do, they would rather say some negative stuff to that person to keep them in the same barrel as they are. Have you ever been in a relationship with a person and unbeknownst to you, that person will show you signs of insecurities or jealousy? Anybody? Let's see what y'all are saying. Exactly, T. Johnson. Those are the ones that will break your heart. You don't even have to do anything to them. But because of their own insecurities, they will say things to you to make you feel some sort of way, when the truth of the matter is that's how they really feel. I don't want anybody to apologize when you speak from your heart. That's one thing that my husband and I always joke about this, because he's like, that really irritates you, don't it? I'm like, yeah, it does, because let me tell you what I'm talking about. You ever watch TV and you see celebrities and they make a statement, right? It could be they don't like a particular group of people. They don't like something that irritates them. They don't like it. It could be something as simply as, I don't like broccoli. You know, we've heard that before. And then you got all the masses that's watching them that'll come down their throats because there's something that they like. Now, let's keep it 100. We're humans. We're all on this earth. But we all have choices. You may like steak. The next person may like chicken. The next person may be a vegan, don't like any of it. But it's fair to say that just because somebody likes something and you don't like something, or vice versa, does not mean that person is wrong. That's their personal opinion. That's how they feel. So if you don't like pork and someone else does, yeah, I don't have to argue about that. It is what it is. But here is what has happened to me. I'm going to tell y'all a couple of stories. The first one happened at church, at my home church. When I left home, I was 18 years old. I joined the military. I went off and lived overseas. That's where I wanted to be. So I went overseas in Germany. When I was over in Germany, I had a bad reaction to pork. Okay? This bad reaction to pork made me sick. So I, for health reasons, made the decision, I'm not eating pork. So I go home after 2 years of being away. Now, this is home. This is where I was born and raised. I go home, go to the church service with my grandma. Everybody was excited to see me because this is my home church. You know, this is where I was, this is my place. These are my people. So this particular Sunday, they were having 2 services, and in between services, they were serving food. So I'm excited. I'm like, man, I've been away for 2 years. I can't wait to sink my teeth into this good, homegrown NC food. Like, I was excited. So I'm standing in line with everybody else between the church service, and we're waiting to get our turn up there, get our food and everything. So my turn comes, and the lady I said, I want a piece of chicken. So she put the chicken on my plate. So she said, what vegetables do you want? And I'm looking at the vegetables, and I see corn. I'm like, man, I love corn. But I noticed there's bacon in the corn. And remember, I don't eat pork. So I'm like, well, can't have corn. So the green beans were right next to the corn. So I was like, oh, green beans. I said, what's that in the green beans, if you don't mind me asking? She said, oh, baby, that's fine. that's some bacon, and it was something else she had in there that was pork. And I was like, okay, can have that. So then beside that was the collard greens. And I was like, I like collard greens. And so literally, she goes to scoop down in the collard greens. And I said, oh, what's that meat? And she said, oh, that's a ham hock. And I said, never mind. I can't have that either. So I realized that every single vegetable up there had pork in it. Only thing at this point I had on my plate was a piece of chicken. And so I said, you know what, ma'am, never mind. I'll just get, a roll. And then somebody had some crackling cornbread up there. If you don't know what that is, it's got pork in it. Okay. So I just got a roll. Just a plain old dinner roll. Can't, just give me a dinner roll. So I had a dinner roll and a piece of chicken on my plate, and all this food was out there. And I moved down the line. I realized my grandmother had made this huge pot of chicken and dumplings. So I said, I know it. They don't have any pork in it, so let me go and get some of that. So I go to my seat at the table, and this lady goes, Kim done got high acidity. She don't eat pork. Now she is saying this stuff in front of all these people, okay? My cousins are there, people that's visiting from other churches are there. I'm like, yo. So now, our people, my people, okay? Everybody looks at me and was like, you don't eat pork. Why you don't eat pork? Then that classic line somebody just had to say. Oh, your mama raised you on pork? Alberta, which is my mama's name. Alberta, I know she used to cook ham and she used to cook pork chops and everybody used to make the best this and that and everything they kept naming was pork, right? So now I'm becoming irritated at the church. And I just sat down. I just started enjoying my piece of chicken while everybody's giving me the side eye. All right? All because I decided I didn't want to eat pork. Now, not one person asked me why, Kim, don't you eat pork? If they would have asked the question, I could have told them for health reasons. And I could have went and told them the full story as to what happened. But no, nobody wanted an understanding. Because of their perception of me not eating these pork dishes, they already decided something about Kim. I've become high acidity. I'm getting beside myself. I've forgotten where I come from. Isn't it amazing that when you move away and you educate yourself and you make personal decisions about yourself, it's always the people that grew up with you, that may be from the same place you were from, that knew your mama, your daddy, your grandmother, your grandfather, your uncle, your cousins, them people. They're the first one to sit there and say, you've forgotten where you come from. They never take the time to understand you, but that's the first thing out of their mouth. I think it's quite interesting that people would be perfectly fine if you would stay where you were born and raised, worked at the local plant, went maybe to a community college or no college at all, bust your tail for another firm, and live and look just like everybody else. People would be just fine. But the moment you listen to God, the moment you pivot, the moment you know better and do better is the moment those other crabs in that barrel get an attitude at you. Why can't you, instead of throwing salt at another person who is trying their best to do better, who is trying their best to be better today than they were yesterday, who is trying their best to do what God has called them to do, who is trying their best to be an example for somebody else, wouldn't it behoove you, instead of trying to make that person your competition, instead of trying to make that person feel bad about doing better for themselves, wouldn't it behoove you to walk up to them and say, you know what? Teach me your ways. You know what? Show me how you do that. Because if God did it for you, he'll do it for me. But we don't do that, do we? No. Instead of us looking at ourselves and then looking at the other person and saying, you know what, if Karen left from this place that I was at, we were raised up together, or we went to the same school. If she can excel the way that she has been excelling, why can't I? Karen did not tell you to stay in that barrel. Karen has done everything she can to help you, but you have decided, unbeknownst to Karen, you have decided to stay where you are. Karen didn't settle. Karen knew the world, the earth isn't flat. Let me go see. Let me go explore. Let me go educate myself so that I don't believe a lot of the stuff that maybe generations have been told. Maybe let me go educate myself because maybe I'm trapped in a generational curse and I don't know it. You can't blame other people for succeeding in whatever they succeed in, and you decided not to even try. Especially when they was trying to give you the blueprint. Like, hey, you do this, and you do this, and this gonna get you this. But you don't want to do that. You don't want to move. You don't want to be removed. You don't want to excel. You don't want to read. You don't want to do nothing but hate on other people that's trying. They never threw it up in your face and said, hey, look at the car I drive. Hey, look at the house I stay in. Hey, look at the college my kids went to. Hey, they never did any of that to you. All they did was try to show you love. All they did was try to say, you know what? I see you. I feel some kind of way about you being in the position that you're in, so I'm going to do everything in my power to help you. You my peeps. I'm going to do everything I can. Even if it hurts me, I don't care. We in this together. We in this race together. We're going to walk across that finish line together. If I got it, you got it. If I got $1, I'm willing to give you 75 cents of it. I'm going to keep that quarter and work that quarter because I care that much for you. So when you do that for other people, it hurts. When they don't even try to walk a mile or an inch or one step in your shoes, they don't even know the sacrifice you made to get out those projects. Nobody knows my story. I didn't just walk out the projects one day. I had to make the decision, Kim, what are you going to do with your life? My decision started at 16. So by the time I hit 18 and I walked across that field with my high school diploma, the only one of my mother's kids to do it, I took that cap and gown off on the field in front of my grandmother, my brothers, my best friend, Heather, was her and I graduated together, and my uncle and my cousin. And I took off my cap and my gown, folded it right there on the field, placed my cap and gown on top of my diploma, and I handed it to my grandmother. And I said to her, you have done everything for me that you can. Now it's my turn to take care of you. Because I saw her sacrifice. When my mother died, I saw the hurt in her eyes. That was her baby girl. My mother died in October. I graduated that June. It crushed me. When my mother died, it did something to me. But I knew I had to finish school because that's what she was fighting so hard to stay on this earth to see. But God knew best, and he didn't allow her to see it. So at least I walked across that field, and I gave that thing to my grandmother, who kept it in the house until she died, and then that's when I claimed it unto myself. I left it with her. Because from the time I left home to the time she left this world, if I had money and she needed it, if the roof needed fixing, I sent it. If the pipes in the house needed fixing, I sent it. Yes, she had her own son, and he had his own family. Him and I was like tag teaming. Hey, what you got? Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. That's what we did because she was the matriarch of our family. And I have a huge family. She had a whole lot of brothers and sisters. But she was the matriarch. She was the one everybody came to. And I said, the least I can do is take care of her. And she taught me, baby, if you make it to the finish line before somebody else, you always turn around and you help others behind you. But it hurts when you turn around and you try to help people and they don't want your help. If I say I love you, I mean it. I love you deep. Like, I'm the type of friend that if you call me and I could be across country and being in the military, y'all know I could be anywhere at any time. My husband can call me right now and say, we got to pack up and we got to move overseas. And guess what we got to do? Pack up and move overseas. That's our life. We've been doing this thing almost 30 years, okay? So when I tell you, when I love you, I'm for real. But it's always the problem because the people that I love are the first ones to hurt me. The people that I love are the first ones to turn on me. The people that I love, that I tell my innermost secrets to, are the first ones to feel some sort of way about me, and I don't know why. But I made a vow today. I made another one. And I said, God, I understand what you're doing. You're fulfilling the prayer I did at the beginning of this year. You have been pivoting me. You have been doing the second step at the pivoting. And let me go and tell you what that is. Because I know since the last video, some of y'all have been pivoting. I've seen several YouTubers talk about pivoting. So let me go and just go and prepare you for the next step you're going to go through. Once you start making changes in your life, once you start making decisions of the things that you're going to tolerate in your life and in your business and the things that you are not, prepare yourself for this next P word, and that is pruning. There are several people in my chat that do farming, and they will tell you several times throughout the year when they are in planting season, seeding season, all that stuff, they have to go out and prune. Pruning is when you go out and you pull up all the weeds. You go out and you cut off the dead limbs off the trees, if you're growing fruit trees or what have you. You have to do this because if you don't prune, those weeds and those dead things will stifle the growth of your harvest. If you don't go out there and get all that unnecessary stuff off of you, all that unnecessary stuff from being attached to your harvest, it will kill it. So God has me in a position now where he has not only put me in the position of the watchman that I told y'all before. He told me to watch. But now that I'm seeing things, he's like, now I'm going to do the other part of your prayer. I'm pruning. I'm separating you. In the Bible, there is a segment in there, and it talks about God allowing the weeds and the wheat to grow up together. There are some of you, you have people around you in your life, people you know that may know you. They look just like you. I don't mean like resemblance, but you know what I'm saying. They talk real good. They say, I love you. I'm with you. I got your back. They say all of the greatest things in the world. But you're going to enter a season. May not be tomorrow, may not be next week, may not be until next year. But you're going to enter into a season where God is going to start cutting some things off. It's going to hurt. It's going to make you cry. It's going to make you mad. You're going to go through all these emotions. But trust me, it's a part of God's plan for you. Because he knows he made you to be greater. And while you're on your way to be greater, there are some people, there are some things that cannot go. They can't go. It can't go. Whatever that shortcoming is, whatever that thing that falls into the category of a weed that's stifling your growth, that feels some sort of way about you deep down inside, and you have no idea that the person may feel this way about you. He's going to allow you to see it, and then he's going to start cutting it away. You're not going to understand it. It's not going to make any sense. Greater is he. You better say that, unbiased. You're not going to understand it. But I guarantee you, if you have to cry, cry. But if that individual or individuals or business partner or whatever the case may be is not sent to you by God, maybe the enemy has snuck up in there just like he did that passage in the Bible when he talked about the weeds and the wheat. Maybe the enemy at some point has implanted a seed inside of that individual, inside of that field, inside of that business, inside of that person, inside of your family, inside of your friends, inside of your neighbors, your co-workers, your boss. A seed has been planted. That seed could be jealousy. That seed could be envy. That seed could be all sorts of negative things. But what you need to understand is that when you're going through your pruning season, it's going to work out for your good. You cannot allow people's personal perceptions of you to stop you. If a person don't like you, be okay with that. Just say, thank you for telling me how you really feel. Now I have the power to decide how I'm going to handle you, how I'm going to handle this situation. But you can't allow someone else's personal trials and decisions to dictate what you're going to do next. You have to follow God. And as the saying goes, the people you start out with may not be the people you finish with. Just like that marathon. Let's take it back. People started out all together. It was a big old gaggle of people. But by the time they got to that finish line, it was one by one by one. Then it was this long gap, and then you had some more people. Then there was another long gap, and you had some more people, and so on and so forth. But they started together, but they did not finish together. All those people did not cross the finish line at the same time, okay? You have to understand and get to know what God has for you. Hi, Geeky Girls. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Lily. Hi. You have to get to know what God has for you. And what God has for me, it is for me. What God has for you, it is for you. But I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you to stop when God has given you the green light. That's not my job. That's not my position. What I need to do, if I feel some sort of way against another person, if somebody tells me they don't eat pork and I love it from the rooter to the tutor, I am not going to condemn, crucify, scandalize, defame them in any way because they don't like what I like. If you like it, then baby, that's on you. If I don't like it, then baby, that's on me. But it's not going to stop the show over here. I'm not going to stop the next blessing God has for me because it makes you uncomfortable. All you have to do is get in the right position with God, work on you, let him work on you, and you can excel too. There is room out here for everybody. But if you think another person is supposed to stop because you don't want to go, you're wrong. You're completely wrong and you out of order. If you can't learn to celebrate other people, you're only stopping your own blessing. It's when I learned to celebrate other people. I don't care if I was in the valley. I don't care if my marriage and my husband and I was just going through it and I saw another couple and they was all on Facebook and all locked up and kissing and hugging and stuff. And I'm like, I wouldn't sit there and be like, ugh, they make me sick. I'm so sick of seeing them come down my timeline, ugh, and all of that negativity. I'm not going to do that. I'm like, marriage works. Hallelujah. God is still in the marriage healing business. So if he did it for them, we may be in a little rocky place right now, but God's going to do it for me. Sometimes you need a positive example in your life. Sometimes we get in our life what we feed. What you feed grows. What you feed lives. So if you fill up your life with negativity, you're going to be negative. If you fill up your life and you don't go anywhere with it, you're going to sit right there and you're going to rot just like the weeds around you. But more of us need to get to a place where we're sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of struggling. That's what the project signified for me. At the age of 16, no, back it up. At the age of 13, I remember going to my mother and I asked her, Mom, why are we living like this? And she was like, what are you talking about? And I said, why are we in the projects? And my mother said, where else are we supposed to be? I didn't have an answer. But I knew we weren't supposed to be there. But I was a kid. As a kid, those of you that's 70s and 80s babies, y'all know my mama came from that generation where you didn't ask questions. You jumped in line and you followed suit. You kept your thoughts and your opinions to yourself. Or you got the backhand or something worse. But I knew that at that age, I'm not supposed to be here. And I'm telling you, there was one day when my mother knew I'd had enough. We were in Winn-Dixie. I don't know if you ever know it. It's a grocery store. It's like Food Line anywhere else. It's a grocery store, okay? It's called Winn-Dixie. And this was during the time when food stamps looked like Monopoly money. Yeah. And we did all the shopping, put all the stuff in the buggy, and we get to the checkout. And I start putting the stuff on the conveyor belt. And my mother reaches in her purse, and she pulls out these food stamps. And my face was, I don't think so. And I walked away from my mother. I went to the front of the store. Now, at this time, at the front of the store, they had a bench. Well, usually old people would go sit because they're tired. They wait for somebody to check them out, whatever. They would just go sit down to rest themselves. I walked all the way over there to that bench and act like I was not with my mama. That's how much disdain I had against food stamps. Because in my mind, I'm like, we can do better than this. Mama, we can do better than this. My mother didn't say a word to me. She went on and paid for the food. We pushed the stuff out to the car, loaded it all up. She never said a word to me. But she knew that day that I had the calling for more. Before my mother died, I made her several promises. I told her that I would do my best to make her proud. When my grandmother got sick and before she passed away, I made her the same promise. I would do whatever I can to make you proud. Just like I told her on the field when I graduated that day. And ever since that day, I've been doing everything within my power, trying to stay in alignment with God, to make sure if I go left or right, he's in the midst. He's directing me and he's guiding me. And I got to be honest with you. Throughout all of my adult years, I've lost people left and right. People that I would consider family. People that I would consider closer than my actual blood family. And every one of them, one by one, if they didn't, leave the earth because of death, they left me or I left them. Because we had reached a point in the journey where it just wasn't measuring up. I had the go light, they had the go light. I shifted, I upshifted, they downshifted. I don't know what happened. And the more I kept looking left and right and behind me, I realized there was a part of my journey where I was just by myself. And I kept saying, wait, God, this can't be right. So I slowed down. And in certain cases, I stopped waiting for them to catch up. And I kept looking at my watch and I was like, they're going to be here soon. They're coming. They're coming. They're coming. They never came. Some of them I would look at on social media. They went and they're clout chasing. They would go and link up with other people that they thought because other people had a following, they would go and link up with them. And I'd be like, oh, okay. I had other people that would sit there and follow another set of people. I was like, oh, okay. I guess this is the part of the journey where I got to walk this thing out by myself. Now, here we are. The ones that they gave me up for left them high and dry. The stuff they were supposed to start with me. They started with somebody else. They don't have it anymore. And I'm still on this marathon. I'm still keeping my eye on the prize and I'm still running. And I know, and some of them have even said it, they think I've outgrown myself. Like I've become too big for my britches. I've forgotten where I come from. Who am I to do what I'm doing? But if God called me, he qualified me. Nobody is stopping anyone from doing what God has called them to do. A lot of the times we're stopping ourselves. And because we've stopped ourselves, we think it's okay to tell somebody else to stop or to try to keep somebody else in a box. There is no box that can hold me. There isn't one. God designed it that way. Everything, this is how God works for me. Everything and everyone I thought I lost, he's replaced them. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know where these people come from. But then I think back to that prayer. He removed what he didn't send. He put me in a place where seasons became very important for me. And if you've never read that scripture in the Bible about seasons, you may want to. But because it was my lack of knowledge of seasons that kept me in places way too long, kept me attached to people way too long. And I knew I had to move. You know, some of us would like to say, I'm too extra to be average. I'm too blessed to be average. A lot of people got more excuses for why they didn't do a certain things versus going and executing. I'm in a season of execution. If I say it, I'm putting 10 toes down on it and I'm doing it. And if you either on the board with me, you on board, or you getting kicked out the shit. But I am no longer hand-holding grown people. You either want to go or you don't. You either destined to go with me on this journey that God has me on, or you're not. But what I'm not going to no longer do is make excuses for grown people. If you love me, then love me. Because if I love you, I love all of you. Flaws and all. We're going to get through it. But I love you. But I don't say I love you if I don't mean it. If I can help you, I'm going to help you. All I'm asking is for a little respect. When people sit there and make statements from their heart, it may hurt you. It may make you rock back on your heels and be like, what in the world did you say to me? You cannot be serious right now. You said, I expect that from them, but you said that to me. That hits a little different. I can understand the neighbor down the street saying something. They don't know me like that. But you said it. That hit a little different. So now I got to process this thing. I got to go to God on this thing. Because I can't go within myself. Because myself can be cutthroat and ruthless. Let's just be real. We are human. We can be some evil souls. But I don't want to be that way because I love you. But obviously there's something inside of you against me. So let me figure this out. The one thing I don't like people to do is when you speak from your heart, don't apologize. That's your truth. Put 10 toes on that thing. That is your truth. Don't come back later and sit there and say, oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I spoke out of turn. No, baby. That was your heart. You said what you said. What was that, Nene Leakes? I said what I said because that's me. When I say something, I'm putting 10 toes on it. I meant that thing. If my mother was here to tell you, she would tell you. When I was a kid, getting me to apologize to appease another person, I got whoopings over that. Because if I said ain't like you, I meant ain't like you. I don't care if our mothers were partying together, hanging out. When I looked at you and we're the same age and I said, I don't like you, I want to hit you, or whatever I want to say to you, I meant it. And my mother would get a hold of it and I would get in trouble and I would get a whooping because I wouldn't apologize. And I was like, but mama, you told me not to lie. So now you're asking me to lie. And so my mother and I would go back and forth on this. And she was like, Kim, just say I'm sorry. And I would be like, no, but I'm not. Like, that was my truth. I meant what I said. And I think that's one of the things that irritates me when I look at TV and I see celebrities. They'll say something. Like, we've recently heard these preachers and stuff and singers say things, and then their PR person get a hold of it and say, nah, we can't upset people like that. You got to go and say, you got to go and do you got to read this letter. Read this letter and just say you're sorry. You know good and well that stuff about as fake as a catch purse. It's fake. It's supposed to be a coach, but it's a catch. You meant what you said. Stand on it. I'm good. I'm healthy. I'm alive. I still got another day to be better than I was before. But I respect that. Thank you for telling me. Now I know where we stand. I understand now. And it's cool. We're going to be just fine. You're going to be just fine. So don't apologize. If you're somebody out there and you feeling some type of way about somebody in your circle, somebody you know, it's an adult thing to go to that person and say, you know what? I don't feel the same way about you as you feel about me. You know what? Yeah, I have jealousy against you, and I need to take some time away from you to work on me. You know what? I'm envious of your relationships. I'm envious of how you're over there making money and I'm struggling. I'm envious of how everywhere you go, people always shouting your name. People always want to follow you around. People always signing up for your courses. People always subscribing to your channel. And every time you go live, you got a room full of people. I'm envious of that. Just be honest. If you don't want to be honest with that person, be honest with yourself. Because the moment you be honest with yourself about how you feel about another person, the moment you can decide if you're going to work on that or not. Or if you're just going to call it quits and say, look, I pray for you. I still love you. No love lost. But you know what? We're going to separate for a while. Because I'm going to give you time to work on whatever that is in your heart. I know I didn't do nothing to you. I didn't cuss you out. I didn't hit you. I didn't take your man or anything like that. You ain't take mine. Like nothing crazy happened. It was just a battle of God doing something for me and you feeling some sort of way about it, or vice versa. Because in that prayer I prayed, I said, God, if it's me, remove me. If I got something in my heart, remove me, show it to me so I can go and let you work on me. Because I don't want this thing to cause me not to see you in the end. So if there's something in Kim, because I'm the first person to go to God. When something happens between me and a person or other people, I go to God first. Like, what did I do wrong? I've even asked people. When I realized they had a problem with me, I said, did I do something? Did I say something? What's the problem? And hardly ever do they tell me the problem. Because I'm that person that when you say, Kim, you did this, this, and this, I'm like, okay, let's talk about it. And then they always back up. Every single time. Have you ever had a conversation with somebody like that? They say something out of their heart to you. And then you're like, okay, so that's the personal problem with me. Let's talk about it. Like, you're ready to, let's just have a conversation. We're adults. Let's do this thing. And they go, you know what? No. Never mind. I shouldn't have said that. Never mind. No. That don't work with me. If you speak from your heart to me about me, let's have the conversation. Because can't nobody in this entire world help you with that but me. We can talk about it. But you can't throw a rock and then try to hide your hand. You can't be in a card game playing spades and then you play a card out of turn and you renege and you don't want to give up those books. It's not how it works. You said what you said. Stand by that. Now let me go and give you the time you need to work on that. That's all I'm saying. It may be a month, it may be a week, it may be a month, it may be a year, but whatever that time frame is, let's hope we're able to get past that. But right now, there's some work that needs to be done. I'm going to give you the space you need because obviously I'm your problem. I've become a problem for you. I don't know how, but I'll become a problem for you. So I'm going to let you go handle that. If you don't want to talk to me about it, fine. I gave you the opportunity. Because sometimes it's best not to say anything than to say something. Sometimes it's just best to go to God in prayer about it before you say something. So if you've ever been in a place with people where they have this perception about you without having no idea the level of sacrifice you've had to make to be where God has you today, don't you dare dim your light. Don't you dare apologize for every blessing he has given you. Excuse me. No apology needed. None. God will bless who he wants to bless. But it's up to us to walk in that blessing. It's up to us to make the decision of what is it that we want. Every single time I think about perception, I think about jealousy, I think about envy, I think about other people's insecurities, or my own insecurities. I think about those things. I think about the story of Bartimaeus. If you read in the Bible, you will learn about a man by the name of Bartimaeus. A lot of people like to call him blind Bartimaeus, but his name was Bartimaeus. Bartimaeus was in this place, and Jesus happened to be passing by, right? Bartimaeus was blind, obviously the name. Bartimaeus heard what Jesus had been doing for other people. And Bartimaeus decided, today is my day. If he can heal that one, the stories I've heard about him healing other people, today is my day. But just like Bartimaeus, there was a lot of people around him with a whole lot of stuff to say. There were people around him that did not want him to get his blessing. They did not want him to get to his next level because in their mind, you have nothing to offer. So they told him, shh, be quiet, Bartimaeus. Simmer down now. But Bartimaeus refused to let other people dictate to him what he could and could not do and what he could and could not ask Jesus for. So he kept on yelling and yelling. And do you know what happened? His persistence got Jesus' attention. Jesus was on his way to somewhere else. He was just passing through. But he heard his name being called over and over again, louder and louder, until it caused him to have to turn around. Jesus got to Bartimaeus and he says this key thing, and this is something we all need to answer. He basically asked Bartimaeus, what is it that you want? I had to answer that question. When I was on the floor, many a nights, in the bed with tears in my eyes, crying over the things that people have said and done to me throughout my life, trying to fight against anger that is very bad in me, trying to keep Kim from going completely off on people, I sat in my bed crying in silence. Throughout the day, tears just flowing. Because I'm like, God, why? But in that moment, I realized that I needed God to do something for me. And in the middle of my tears and yelling out to God, the why and how could this happen? And I never did anything to them. All I did was try to support them. All I did was try to help them. All I did was try to, show them another way of doing stuff and living life, giving them a glimpse of the good life. They've been eating pork and beans and oodles and noodles all their life. And here I am with steak and lobster and I want to share. And I'm like, here, enjoy this steak and lobster. And they're like, who you think you are? I'm trying to help. I said I love you. I'm trying to show you that I love you by sharing my fruits with you. But you don't want it. That's fine. Thank you for telling me you don't want it. So now I can invest in somewhere else. Because when Bartimaeus had Jesus' attention, he told him exactly what he wanted. He didn't stutter. He didn't stammer. He didn't have to go, no, he knew what he wanted. The problem with us is we don't know what we want. We always quick to say, somebody help me, help me, help me. I need to do this. But when somebody comes to you and say, what do you want? You have no idea. But in this season, I would encourage you, be like Bartimaeus. If you hear somebody around you is getting blessed, if you are on YouTube and you're trying to grow your channel and you realize that, hey, if that person just got monetized, I want to know how they did it, because I could be doing something wrong. But they obviously found the formula. Let me figure this thing out. If that's something you want to do, if you want to grow a 6-figure business, find somebody with a 6-figure business, not just in talk, because you got a lot of talking heads out there. Come on now, people always lying. But find somebody that their proof has left evidence. If that's what you want, then pursue it. You got some people that are your hundredaires. I mean, they can show you how to get $100. I can tell you how to get 50. But you're sitting there like, no, I already got 50. I already got 100. I'm trying to make 1,000. Hold on. You got 100. You got 100. Okay, has anybody around me ever made $1,000? And if nobody around you ever made $1,000, you need to go get some more people. If your goal is $10,000, look around. Anybody? Let me look through my Rolodex. Anybody ever made $10,000? Like for real? No? I need to go find some more people, because that's where I want to be. But those people that's at that level are not going to hold your hand. That's for people. There you go. The blueprint people. There you go, unbiased. Those are the people that's saying, look, I'm on the road. You want to come along, then come along. But I'm not going to be wasting my time on you. You either want it or you don't. I'm not going to hold your hand. I'm not going to coddle you and baby you through this. No, I'm going to tell you the blueprint. I'm going to tell you the step-by-step direction, up to you to do it. But I'm not going to be checking behind you. You're either going to do it or you don't. But I'm not going to waste my time on it. And eventually, they're going to stop dealing with you at all, because they're going to realize you're a time waster. Or you're more like a barnacle on the bottom of a boat. You're just kind of hanging around and not doing anything with the information you're given. How long do you think people are going to keep doing that with you? Especially when they know you're not serious. Especially when they know in your heart you don't love them like they love you. When they know in your heart you're suffering from a deep root of jealousy, a deep root of envy. And you have to ask yourself, why do I feel this way against this person? Nobody can answer that but you. But for those of you that's shining, those of you that's grinding, those of you that's on your road and you're doing everything in alignment with God and you're shining, you've been a beacon of light, keep shining. Keep doing what God called you to do. I'm going to look at these comments. What I know I missed it, like they were going fast. Let's see. I'm biased. Oh, I got to get these things on the screen. Next time I have them on the screen. I just kind of want to test out this program. Hello, Love and Live. Hello, Fabulous is 32. Geeky Girl. Sweet Arts. Custom Creations. What's up, girl? Let's see. We got Taryn. Let's see. Lily, hello. I know that was a lot, guys. I noticed I did not plan on going over an hour, but I'm at an hour and 14 and counting. But I had to get that off. Yeah, exactly, unbiased. When you say, let's talk about it, then they become silent. If you bring up a subject, a feeling, let's talk about it. We're adults. We can have that conversation. But when you start backing up and saying all kind of other stuff, it's a done deal. If you exactly, Geeky Girls Journal. If you truly mean it, don't take it back. I'd rather hear your truth. Girl, that's the closing remark right there. I'd rather hear your truth. If that's how your heart of hearts feel, stand on that thing. Don't lie about it, but stand on it. That's what adults do. And if it's something you don't want to talk about, you just want to let your feelings out there, tell somebody however you feel about them or a situation or whatever, and then you don't want to go into detail about it, then let it ride. Whatever happens next, happens next. If they say, you know what, I think it's best that we put some distance between us, then so be it. But stand on that thing. I respect people that do that. Okay, them said Ecclesiastes, I'm going to look that up. I'm going to read to y'all too. Ecclesiastes 3, I think I ain't, when I am. Let's see. I'm about to bring this up too. I'm about to read it. Hold on, Dimps. What you say? 3, 1 through 22? All right, see if I can pull it up real fast. You're right. That's it. The seasons. That's the scripture about seasons. I'm gonna let y'all go and read that. I thought it was something else. I'm gonna let y'all read that. Yeah, and meditate on that. Ecclesiastes 3. Meditate on that. Because a lot of us stay attached to stuff that's out of season. That's why we get hurt. That's why jealousy sits in there. I had someone tell me years ago, it's been a while now. They said, Kim, I'm afraid of something. I had no idea what they were going to say. And so I said, what are you afraid of? And they said, I'm afraid that God is going to bless you one day and it's going to separate us. And at that time I was like, there is no way that's going to happen. No, you know, we too tight for that. That's never going to happen. I'm there with you. Little did I know that person was actually speaking then from their heart. Because I really believe then they knew they had something in their heart. They just weren't prepared to talk about it or tell me about it. I misunderstood them. They were trying to warn me then. I missed it because of love. Love will make you miss some stuff. You hear me? Loyalty will make you miss some stuff. Because you can love people so much that you just completely miss their truth. You will see what you want to see of that person. You will see their potential. You will see their representative. You won't see them until they tell you from their heart how they really feel about you. And then you're like, who in the world is this person? You know, some spiritual people will sit there and say, get thee behind me, Satan. Like some people will really come at you like that. That's the devil, you know. But it's actually their truth. It's not the devil. It's their truth. And sometimes it's hard for us to hear another person's truth, especially when it's aimed at us in a negative way. And so I had to learn, I am learning, that I need to get to a place in my life where I am okay with walking along my journey at times by myself. I've been here before. That it's going to be okay because I'm following God. And whatever I thought I lost along the way, God will replace. I've had to say goodbye to a lot of people in my life. And guess what? My blessings didn't stop. Their blessings didn't stop. We just kind of went two different ways. It happens. But what we must learn to do, get your run on, Dimps, girl, look. I'm doing everything I can to stay in this chair and not go in full sermon mode, okay? I'm doing everything I can. So, God, I thank you because I asked God, just let me get this out. Just let me get this out. Please don't have me running around here. Let me get this out. Because the sooner I realize that it doesn't matter how much you may love a person or you may love a group of people, there is going to come a time when God is going to say, go. Just like there's going to come a time when God is going to say, stop. And we will hurt our own selves trying to do the opposite of what he says, with whom he says. Everybody can't go. Some people make the choice not to go. And you going to cry? Trust me, I've cried enough tears. You going to cry. It's going to hurt. I literally have had to call in some spiritual people that I know and say, look, am I wrong? Like, did I do something wrong? Like, look, this is what happened. This is what was said. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. I will gladly go fix it. Like, just tell me I'm wrong. And as they looked at the situation, they heard everything, and they was like, that's not you. Some people will project onto you what they really feel about themselves. When people don't do what they were created to do, and they see you doing what you were created to do, it becomes an irritant to them. They become irritated because they think if you would just sit still, if you would have just stayed right here, we'd be good. But you just had to go over there and go get you some education. You just had to go and get married. You just had to leave home and join the military and live all over the world. You just had to go and just mess everything up for us. So you missed all the times I tried to bring you along this journey. You missed all of it. Just forget all of that. That seed of envy and jealousy has blinded you. Because like I said, if I win and we rolling through this life together, you win. I've proven that over and over again. I would never do anything to hurt you. If we have a disagreement, we're human. We're grown adults. Not everybody's going to see eye to eye. Got it. But in my heart, there is no jealousy. In my heart, there is no envy. If God had you on top and I was going through my valley season and you're trying to do everything to just keep my head up, I'm going to appreciate that because I'm like, you know what? They love me. They're not going to let me drown. They're not going to let me live in this place of hurt and despair. They're my guiding light. So when I'm going through it, I know I can pick up the phone and call. I can get on their live and say, hey, call me. Hey, I need to talk to somebody. They know if I can't call nobody else in this world, I can call you, my guiding light. You got my back. But when you're the person that's the lover in the relationship, like you love them, you sacrifice, everybody that's attached to you love them, and for everybody to hear they said what to you learn real quickly to walk away from perception. I've had to learn real quickly that when people show you who they are, when people show you how they really feel, believe it. Don't make an excuse for it, because that was my problem. I was making excuses for everybody and everything. Oh, they said that to me. Oh, because they were just having a bad day. Oh, they did that to me. Oh, because, they were just having going through something right now. I was always making the excuses. But this year, I said no more excuses. Whatever they show me, it is what it is. Whatever they say, it is what it is. It's like a light in a dark room. I can see clearly now. Thank you. There is no going back from that. There you go, Taryn. Believe it and walk away. Let them deal with the repercussions of that action. If that's their heart, they need to go deal with their heart. If that's how they feel, then take that time to go deal with how you feel. And when you are ready, when enough time has passed, and you are ready to be an adult about the situation and talk this thing out for real, not no apology, not none of that. When you are really willing to put 10 toes on it and talk about what's really going on, then we can do that. But you got to do something that I told somebody this once, and it caused a major rift in our relationship. And it took us a while to get back on track. But in this case, I'm going to say it again because it was true then and it's true now. They just didn't know how to handle it. But I'm going to say it again. If you're ever in a position with people like this, people that, speak from their heart to you, about you, sometimes you got to allow people to grow up. I know some 50-year-old kids. I know some 70-year-old kids. I know some 30 and some 40-year-old kids. Some people truly just need to grow up. If you have something in your heart, deal with it. Can't nobody fix that but you. Why are you projecting all of this venom on everybody else in the room? Because you're having a bad time in your life. Figure out what's going on in your life first. Especially if that person didn't do anything to you. They're just trying to help you and be a friend or family or whatever the situation may be. They're just trying to be good to you and set a good example for you. And you just wanted to poop all over them. And now you don't even want to talk about it. Now you want to do this apology. That's that fake apology mess. I had that happen with a family member last year. They want to just sit up there and just curse me out. They didn't even do nothing to them because I wouldn't do what they wanted me to do. They couldn't twist my arm behind my back and make me say mercy. So they decided to say, cuss out first. Second letter, I'm apologize. I'm apologize. And before I could even get through the second apology, here come another letter completely cussing me out and another letter completely cussing me out again because I wouldn't do what they wanted me to do. This is that fake apology mess that irritates me. You said what you said. Stand on it. And if it causes us to go separate ways, then we go separate ways. But there's no love lost. Kim's love for you is still the love I had for you. But now Kim has been placed in a position where Kim's got to redirect, shift, pivot some things during this pruning season. It hurts to see your heart cause distance. But if it is what it is what it is. I'm going to give you that time. So sometimes you just got to give people time. Just back away and say, you know what? I'm going to give you that time. You're going through something. I get it. I'm going to give you that time. But keep shining, y'all. That's all I want y'all to know. Keep shining. Yes. Because sometimes a lot, and I've said this before, and I know some of y'all are new to me, so I'll say it again. I'm a recovering grudge holder. Badly. God has done a work on your girl. Because if I got mad at you for whatever reason, we were done. Like I was the queen of the cut off. Like I didn't even give God a chance to prune. I pruned for him. I just was like, all right, peace out, boop. And it was as though you did not even exist. I would walk around, people like, Kim, you talk to who? You talk to so-and-so? I'm like, talk to who? Who you talking about? You know who I'm talking about? No, really, who are you talking about? I don't recognize that name. I don't really know that person, excuse me. And I was going about my business. Because you just became that non-existent. That's how deep my grudges would go. And God had to take me through a cycle of deliverance and forgiveness. Like, forgiveness is a hard thing for me. I thank God because it's gotten better over the years. Because I always keep thinking, what if God didn't forgive me? So I'm learning to forgive quicker, get an understanding, and just see it for what it is. And yes, hi, Boss Bo 40. Hi, thank you for being here. Absolutely, we have to pay attention to the signs. We have to. God gives us signs every single day. We miss a lot of them. I know I do. I'm just going to be honest with you. I miss a lot of signs. Yeah, I miss a lot of signs and have gotten myself in a lot of hurtful situations because I just closed my eyes to it. My loyalty kept me blind. My love for people made me blind. I just didn't want to see it. I didn't want to accept it. But I've had, several conversations today, and I'm going to say this. I love my husband. Baby, I thank you for the conversation we had today because he know how, things like this made me feel. And so he was shocked. He couldn't believe it. But he gave me some of the best words of encouragement. And I thank him for that because sometimes you just need that because I was like, am I wrong? Check me, boo. If I'm wrong, pull me to the carpet and let help me. I'm that type of person. If I did I say something and this is how I felt about a thing, and I guess it must have pricked something in them and it was just on and popping. I was just like, yo, did I do something? First, he commended me because I didn't go off. That's a big step for me. And he was like, you handled that really well. He says, but even he was shocked at, how things went down. But what he said was that if people have never walked a mile in your shoes, don't expect them to understand. Don't expect them to understand. My problem was I was expecting certain people to understand. But if you've never been through what we've been through and made the sacrifices that we have made as individuals and as a couple, you won't understand. Your perception of me will keep you blind. But there was nobody here when my husband was gone for months. And I'm here with 2 children. We had medical issues happening. We had all kinds of stuff happening. And I'm in a place where I had no family, no friends, nobody, just me and God. And my husband was off making the sacrifice that he's even making right now for the security of his wife and children. Nobody was there. Nobody knows the sacrifice. Nobody knows the things. I'm not even going to start listing this stuff because I might just start crying. Nobody knows. So for somebody to sit there and say, you've forgotten where you come from, that's bananas to me. Like, how can I forget where I come from? Runners don't forget where they started the race at. All the runner knows is where I start is not where I'm going to finish. That's all I know. I thank God for those humble beginnings, because every day in the projects let me know, do everything when you become an adult so you don't return. Do everything you can. Every pain you feel, remember that. Every tear you cried, remember that. Remember when you was 7 years old and you and your mother standing in a line at old dark 30, like 5 o'clock in the morning before the sun even rose, to stand in a line with so many other people at the welfare office, getting this huge brown box full of all kind of stuff. From a huge, big old roll of bologna wrapped in this red cellophane stuff, to the government cheese, we used to call that, the dried milk, the canned goods, and all of this stuff. That was me. How can I forget that? But what it did was show me, Kim, you've got to always work hard so that you don't have to return here. And so if people can't understand that, then I don't know what to tell you. Who am I to turn down God's blessing? He took me through that. That was my start. You don't know the tears I cried. You don't know the times I wanted to give up and God wouldn't let me. You don't know the pressure that was put on my back as a kid, being the youngest of 3, to where when I didn't want to do well in school, I wanted to goof off, my mother and my grandmother wasn't having it. All of their hopes and dreams and things that they did not accomplish was placed on me. I couldn't quit. I couldn't settle there where I started. But you don't understand that, do you? You don't get it. I've always had somebody pushing me. When my grandmother got to an age when she couldn't push me, I was doing little extra services on the weekend for a lady that was in her 80s, and she kept pouring into me. I had people at my church, always the senior citizens, or I like to call them my wisdom keepers. They were always pouring into me because they saw potential in me. God had obviously orchestrated this thing for me. But you don't know the sacrifices I've had to make and continue to make to get to where I am today and where I'll be tomorrow. You don't have a clue. But I have to get up every single day and put 10 toes on it. 10 is just not about the educated natural. I'm always on 10. Anytime I try to fall back to 9, 8, and 7, somebody's always behind me saying, let's go. My husband, 20 over almost 30 years in the military. Every day he gets his teeth kicked in because there are people depending on him to do what he's supposed to do for Uncle Sam, so that we can enjoy the fruits of his labor. You think he likes, dealing with the people he has to deal with in the military? No. But he does it because he has a goal in mind for his family. He made that sacrifice. And as his wife, I put 10 toes down on it every single day. And I support him every single day. I don't have time to coddle anybody. If you got a problem with someone that's trying to do their absolute best in this life before God snatches them out of here, then you need to go handle that. But I'm not going to quit because it makes you uncomfortable. I'm not going to stop because it makes you uncomfortable. Because it makes you reflect on yourself and the things that you didn't do in your life. That was your choice. Just like I make a choice every day in a decision, you have to make a choice every day in a decision. And every choice and every decision that we make has a result at the end. If I didn't go to school, if I didn't finish high school, that was on me. It was going to have a different result than it has now. If I didn't finish college, it was going to have a different result. If I would have went and had children out of wedlock, that was going to have a result. Every move we make has a result, but it's nobody's responsibility of what we decide to do but ourselves. And until you take responsibility for the things that you do and the things that you don't do, baby, that's on you. But you can't project that on me. I will not miss a blessing from God dealing with small-minded people. I will not miss a blessing from God trying to drag people that don't want to go anywhere or do anything. If you feel a certain way in your heart about a person, do that person that's doing their absolute best a favor and take some time and work on you. And when you are ready, then you approach that person and say, I'm ready now. Let's do this. Have the conversation, but don't apologize for what your heart feels. You may not be able to put a name on it. You may not know it's jealousy. You may not know it's envy or anything in that nature. This is where you need to educate yourself. Figure out what's going on with you. If you got a situation going on in your life and it's impacting everything else, you take a moment, don't talk to nobody, still away to be with Jesus, like the old people used to say. Still away. But you need to go handle that. Thank you, unbiased girl. You own one today. You hear me? Yes, you have to think big. Because if you keep thinking small, you're going to get small results. If you don't think at all, you're going to get zero results. I don't have a choice but to think big. I would have loved to stop college when I got my associate's degree. But my husband wasn't having it. Because he had already got his undergraduate. He's like, you better come on here, girl. So I had to keep pushing until I got my undergraduate degree. Y'all about to make me pull my degree off this wall. And I don't really want to do that because it's hard to get it up there. But I kept going and I got my 4-year degree. Right? But then by the time I wrapped up my 4-year degree and I'm over there celebrating like, woohoo, I got my bachelor's. I'm like excited, right? My husband goes, I just started my graduate program. I said, no. We're done. I'm done. I'm not going back to school. I'm not doing it. I'm doing it. He was like, oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. So me following him, he got his master's. He's like, yeah, look at that. And then he started irritating me with it because he started bragging. And I don't like stuff like that. So he started like challenging me. I bet you can't. I bet you can't. I bet you can't. And I said, I bet you I can't. So right when we made the deal, I was going to go back to school for graduate school. My husband found out he was going to deploy. Imagine that. And he was going to be gone for a whole year. Sacrifice. So I had a choice to make. I could just say, well, he's not here. I'm not going to do it. I can just chill out, for the next year. I can just, go and do the things I want to do with my kids and da-da-da. No, it didn't work out that way. Because even though he wasn't in the house, he was like, what you going to do? What you going to do, Kim? And I had to make a decision. I'm not going to let you outdo me. So I went and I earned my MBA, Master's of Business Administration. Went and got it. I graduated like a week or two after he returned from deployment. We went all the way to graduation together. He watched me walk across the stage to get that master's degree. And this time I told him, I said, look here, You mess around and go get a doctorate if you want to. I'm not playing this game with you no more. I cried like the last semester of my graduate. I'm not doing this no more. I'm tapping out. You won. Yeah, I'm tapping out. So he didn't go do it yet. He said he's thinking about it, but I'm not playing this game with him. I went for a top degree, my master's of business administration, and I'm done. But it didn't stop there, y'all. It didn't stop there. We have a grown adult daughter. And when she graduated, we was trying to figure out which degree she was going to get. Well, my baby graduated this year with her undergraduate degree in engineering. She has an engineering degree. So when people say things like, you've gotten too big for your britches, you've forgotten where you come from, you bougie. How many of y'all have heard that term? You a bougie soul. I'm creating, my husband and I, generational wealth, legacy. I don't know what other people are doing, but God has placed us in a position to create something great for generations to come. God showed me a long time ago. My mother didn't finish high school. My grandparents didn't finish high school. My brothers didn't finish high school. I did. I'm breaking the generational curse. Do you hear me? I don't care what other people are doing. That's between you and God. But I know that when God's voice speaks, when the Holy Spirit within me moves, I cannot ignore it. I have too much to lose. So if you don't like me, because God is blessing me in whatever way he's blessing, prepare yourself to get sick of me. Oh, yes. Because if you're mad now, if you're jealous now, baby, you just wait, because you haven't seen nothing yet. You can either be down with me or you can be away from me. Either way, I'm going to be blessed because God just set it up that way. I'm going to keep moving because I'm just created that way. I can take a licking and keep on ticking because I'm created for this. If the projects didn't teach me anything, it taught me this. You got to be resilient in this world, and you got to be persistent. You got to be able to take a hit, get back up, and keep on moving. Somebody swing on you, you better swing back. There's no time for tears. But in this life, you got to be willing to fight, because ain't nothing going to be given to you. And so if you're going to slap the hand that feeds you, fine. But there's a result for that. All right, y'all. I'm going to let y'all go. I can talk about this all day long, but I think y'all got it, because I see y'all rocking with me. And I thank God for every one of y'all that are here, because we just got to keep shining. There's a lot. I see all the star. Like I see E-Money. What's going on? I see Star, E-Money. I see Boss, BO40. I see Unbiased, who's been on fire in this chat, girl. I see Fabulous is 32. Deborah. Look, Star started shining. Y'all are tearing. Thank you. Yes, it's very hard. It's very hard. Very hard. But through God's grace, I was able to accomplish it. But I'm going to tell you now, I complained and I cried through that last semester. Y'all have no idea. I got probably about in the middle of my classes, probably around class number 6, and I was like, I'm done. I don't want to do this no more. I'm trying to raise 2 kids. My husband's not here. We got medical issues going on. I don't have time for this foolishness. But I kept looking at my daughter, who I knew was next in line. I said, Kim, if you give up now, what are you teaching her? What are you teaching her? My kids are another reason why I push so hard, why I speak with such force, because I want them to know and understand that as a woman, you can't quit. As a black woman, you got so many obstacles against you, and you're going to have to work 10 times harder than everybody else. But do the work. Put in the work. And that's something I'm teaching them. All right, fabulous sister. Really? You got a degree in electrical engineering? Oh, we need to my daughter may need some words from you. Wow, congratulations. Girl, let me tell you something. When she was in class, I called myself, because, me and my husband, we got master's degrees. So I'm like, let me go in here and see what she doing. So we walk in her room one day. The level of math, let's just start there. My husband and I did the moonwalk backwards up out of that joint. You hear me? I said, I don't know what that is. What is that? Some kind of foreign language? Like what? What's the numbers and the squiggly? I said, you know what? I'm going to stay in my lane. There's a reason why I went in business. I don't know what that is. I don't know how you figured that out, but I'm going to let you do what you do. We can't help you. It was too much math. I have never seen stuff like this before. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, look up some of the math that engineers have to know how to do. Matter of fact, don't even do it because you're going to hurt yourself. Because I'm telling y'all, I ain't never ran out of a room so fast in my life. I said, no, you got it. Please don't ask me for help because not with that. Now, if you want English and regular math, algebra, something like business law or something like that, I got you. She's like, I'm not taking those type of classes. I'm taking this. I'm taking this. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. So, yeah, I know a couple of people that are engineers. One's a mechanical engineer. I'm just going to call them. I'm going to phone a friend but she made it. Hallelujah. She made it. And we're waiting for Daddy, I think next month, when he comes back off of his trip, we're going to have a big celebration. Of course, y'all know I'm going to film that. And, this fourth quarter of this year, I feel it, y'all, that God is really about to do some major blessings, not just for my household, but for a lot of other people. Like, there is no way. God told me to tell y'all just a few weeks ago about pivoting. He is setting us up for something great. Like, I feel it. And you will not end this year in tears. You may have cried in the beginning and in the middle, but I'm telling you, the ending of your year is going to be phenomenal. Some of y'all are only getting glimpses. For those of you who just monetized your YouTube channel, that's just a glimpse, baby. God is about to bless you unexpectedly. Like, these are things that you haven't even prayed for. You're about to get blessed beyond belief. I'm here to tell you. So thank you, Dimps. Thank you for being here. Much love to you. Thank you. E-Money on the beat. Yes, sir. Listen, if y'all need some beats, go to E-Money on YouTube. I'm telling you, the brother is dropping them. You hear me? I might have to go over there and get me a couple because I need something, especially me playing around with this. So y'all tell me, how does this look? And I'll tell y'all what this is. If you don't know already, you may already know. Let me see if it's, it's already on there. This is XSplit. This was my old faithful. Years ago, I used to use this program. And I stopped using it. That's when I started using StreamYard and Melon and things like that. But for some reason today, I wanted to pull it out. It's a lot of different things. It's a big upgrade that has happened to it since I used to use it. A lot of gamers use it. They use OBS as well. But I wanted to use it. My daughter, who does live streaming as well, she's a gamer. And she has, OBS back there on her computer. And I was like, I want to try something different so we can kind of compare the two, which is why I'm trying this today. So thank you so much. We're still kind of shifting things, trying to figure out how I want the background to look. But so far, so good. I got a new camera. So if you notice, I'm not jittery like I was in my last video. That was a hot mess. I love y'all because not one person told me that I was looking very robotic in that video. I love it. It was on there for 3 hours and not one person said, Kim, you like, Nobody said anything. But so I said, you know what? My camera is like, I'm out of here. Like, thank you so much, sweethearts. God bless you. Love you, my sister. Thank you. Listen, I don't know if any of you are looking for rhinestones, but Sweet Arts Custom Creations just launched her rhinestone brand. Head over there. If you're not looking for bulk rhinestones, meaning you're not looking for a lot, go over to Sweet Arts Custom Creations. Support her. She is a very sweetheart. She's out of NYC, New York City. So make sure you go and support her channel, support her products. Let me tell you, girlfriend got sublimation. Trust me, just trust me. You will not be disappointed buying any of her products. If you don't want rhinestones, maybe you want something custom made, she got you covered. So make sure you're going over to her and supporting her at sweetheartscustomcreation.com, I believe it is. So make sure you go and support her. Unbiased. I am really unbiased. I'm just going to tell you right here. I am seriously thinking about having you design something like, because I cannot sew and I would love to know how to sew. But I saw that you make clothes, that you made this dress for somebody. And I said, I wonder if Unbiased can make this thing that I like. And I'm going to wear one on camera one day. So, and I'm going to tell her off camera about what it is. I really want one made. And I want it made by one of the crafters here on YouTube. Because I want to be able to rock it. And I want to be able to edify them in videos and everything like that. Because that's something I want to do. I want to go and purchase different products from people. So as I'm growing and as God is leading me to different places, and if I'm going to different events, I would love to be able to say, hey, got this from such and such. Hey, Unbiased made this for me. They be like, who is that? I'm like, girl, Unbiased LLC. You don't know? Look, here's her website. Give me your phone. Boom. You want this? Unbiased LLC. That's what I want to be able to do for people. I don't want to just tell people to go to your channel and do the S word and, visit you and stuff like that. I want to do something more. I want to be able to say, look, you see this bracelet I got on? You see this ring I got on? They be like, yeah, where'd you get that? Girl, Sweethearts Custom Creations made this. They be like, who is that? I got you. Pull it up on my phone. Tap that in your phone right there. She got you covered. That's the things I want to do. Because I am on a military installation. And although there are crafters here on this particular post, a lot of them can't touch y'all. I'm telling you. I've gone to some of their websites that have posted it in our private groups. They can't touch y'all. But I want to be able to go and tell them about your stuff and then have it in hand. Because there was a time when I had a particular perfume that I used to wear. And it was by someone. And I was walking in a building one day, and this man was walking out, and like a gentleman, he was holding the door while I walked in. And as I walked past him, he smelled the scent that I had on. And he goes, ooh, ma'am, you smell good. And I said, thank you. And he said, what are you wearing? And I told him what it was. And at that time, oh my goodness, I'm not even going to tell you the scent. I got a big announcement later on, so I'm not going to tell you what it was. And he says, I got to get my wife some of that because that smells good. This is the power of rocking someone's brand, your own brand. I've had on one of my t-shirts that I made, went to the store, to a fast food place to pick up food, and this man read my shirt and was like, I like that shirt, got to get one. I wasn't selling. I just had it on. These are the things I want to do for you all. So I left a post on my community tab and I asked you all, who do y'all think, whose products do you think or services that you think is above the rest? And the only person that put a name down there was Unbiased. She said mine. No, not like mine, like hers. She said Unbiased LLC. And I said, I like your confidence. I like that. If you're not going to big up anybody else, big up yourself. But at least you put your name out there because you're like, I'm not going to wait for nobody else to say me. I'm just going to say me. I respect that. So if you know of a product or a person that's doing great things in this marketplace, let me know. Here's why. Because I love to celebrate other people. If you look on my channel, you will see where I had artisans of the day. These are people that you may know and may not know of that are doing great things. But support goes a long way. You don't have to go buy their products if you don't want to. You can simply give them a thumbs up, leave them a comment or a compliment. But you would never know about it if nobody tells you about it. I found a lot of people that I'm subscribed to here, on YouTube because word of mouth goes a long way. But I can't talk about people I may not know about. So if you know about them, Let me go find these people so I can tell everybody else about them. This is what we do in this community. We support each other. We don't hate on each other. We don't try to project our negativity on other people. We love on each other. And love is an action word. We show that love. We don't do lip service. So if I say I love you and I want to do something for you, I mean it. Now I need you to do your part. But I thank y'all for being here. Yes, unbiased. Oh, that's my daughter right there, y'all. Asia Collins. Don't you dare say Aisha. It's Asia, okay? She hates when people mess up her name. It is Asia. Okay, but that's her YouTube channel right there. She also live stream on Twitch. So if you are on Twitch, look her up so that you can watch her and support her while she's playing games. Now, I'm the only person in this house that is not a gamer, not even close to it. I was telling her the other day, if I played games, and a lot of you, I watch your games. If I play games, I've been and shot the people on my team. I've been and shot everything that moved. They've been and kicked me out the game. I don't get it. I just, it's too fast. I don't know. I've just never been a gamer. If it's faster than Pac-Man, I'm the Atari girl. If it's faster than Pac-Man, don't add me. Don't even ask, because my daughter will tell you. My daughter will tell you, my mama, no. And hey, I keep asking her to show me how to play, because it does look like fun. Like, I like racing games or like fighting games. I got issues. Don't judge me. Like Tekken. Like that Tekken was my game. And my daughter's like, she's like playing, you can type in the games, baby. I can't think of the games. She plays so many different ones. And I was watching like Tay Weezy and Big Rooster. Y'all was playing like Call of Duty and stuff like that. And East Dad was playing like the Halloween game or something. And I was like, I'm telling you, everybody would be dead. I'd be done kicked out, barred from the game. People be done fussed me out because I'd be done shot everybody. Because I'm like, I'm asking her, how do you tell who's on your team and who's not? This person that walked in front of you, now I done shot them, and now they mad and fussing me out of the headphones. Child, nope. I'm not even. Okay, Among Us, Fall Guys, Apex, Call of Duty, GTA. Like, these are the things. Yeah, Friday the 3rd. Y'all, I've never played these games. I be wanting to try, but I know somebody's gonna be mad at me because I'm military, and so you put a weapon in my hand, and the sergeants would tell you, Kim gonna hit it. You mess around and walk in my line of sight if you want to, you're gonna have a butt shot. Because I'm telling you, I'm an eagle eye. I'm on it. But games like that, they get me hype, and I would love to. But the controls, I told my daughter, this thing got too many buttons on it. Why Atari? We had the little, the little red buttons. It's like, what's all of this? I would watch her fingers be going all like this, and she clicking and shit. I'm like, that's too much going on. I've been to hit the wrong button when I should have hit another button. Now I'm frustrated and mad. I done threw the remote across the room. Nah, I'm gonna stick to the basic game. Let me go play bingo. Let me go play solitaire. Let me go play something like that, because that stuff is a lot. It's a lot of buttons. I'm telling you now, them remotes, they have just too many. She keeps telling me that, oh, mama, you'll get used to it. I just have to show you how to do it. And I'm like, girl, you're going to need a lot of patience. So maybe one day your girl will learn how to play games. But as of right now, I am the only non-gamer in the household. My baby girl, who is 15, also plays games. My husband plays games. I don't even have game. The only game I have on my phone is solitaire. No kidding. I don't even have games on my phone. I remember one time a few years ago, I put Tiki Totem on my phone. Have you ever heard that game? And I was telling my husband about it. I told my daughter, they both were playing it. They both completed the game. I think I stopped on number 4 or 5, and I was like, okay, I'm done. And they were like, you didn't finish the game. I was like, no, I get bored easy. That's why that's why God always pivots me. And that's why I love and thank God for the military, because we're always moving. And I love that. I get bored so easy. So when my husband was playing certain games where you have to go back and you got to build a farm and you got to go check on the animals and you got to go do all that, I'm like, Chad, it's too much work. I'm not doing that. I don't play that game. I get bored easy. Sorry. It's just not my thing. But I love watching other people that's able to do it. Sometimes I'll go in my daughter's room and I'll watch her play these various games. And I'll be asking questions. She'll be like, Mom, come on now. She's like all into her game. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. Let me see here. We got. Okay, Dimps is saying check out AB Gamers here on YouTube. That's my sister's channel. Okay, everybody make sure you check out AB Games. Okay, GAMEZ. Okay, AB Games. All right, I'll check that out. I'll make sure I'll check that out. Oh, AB dash games and then the letter Z. All right, got you. Thanks, Dimps. Girl, Words with Friends was a big one in this household too. Just like Angry Birds. I didn't play it. When I realized I was trying to be honest in the Words with Friends and people were cheating, I said, I ain't playing that game no more. Yeah, I guess I kind of got an issue with losing too. But I'm not like a sore loser. Like some people get mad and break TVs. No, I'm not that kind of person. But I'm competitive. So, and that's why if y'all ever watch me like a Tori's Brain Games, y'all got to go check out Tori's Brain Games and Love and Live show. When they do their games, we have a ball over there. But I'm a competitive person. And that's why if I'm playing on my phone and I'm like, oh man, somebody got my word, I will literally get up from using my phone and go all the way here to my office in my computer. And I'll be here like this. Because I'm a competitive person. And so, but it's fun. I love going to Tori's Brain Games and I love going over to Love and Live show because it's a ball. So if you guys just want to laugh, if you want to just meet new people here on these platforms, you want to just have fun, you got to go over to Tori's Brain Games. You have to go over to Love and Live show. And if you really just want to party in a good way and laugh, you have to check out 755 Media, hands down. The train is always going off the track over there. If you want to have some fun and laugh in the late night hours, that's the place to be. We have so much fun over there. If you're looking for intros, outros, theme songs, anything like that for your channel, for your business, or whatever you want to use it for, you have to check out 755 Media. She has it on lock. You need a songstress, someone that can lay down some background vocals or lead vocals. You have to check out Shandy Cheeks. Oh, I said Cheek. She's going to kill me. Sandy Cheek. One cheek. Cheek. No S. Gosh, she is going to kill me. You have to check out Shandy Cheek. Lord. Okay. If you're looking for beats, if 755 can't meet your expectation as far as beats, you have to check out E Money. That's the letter E and then the word money. His whole channel is different beats. He's like dropping beats all the time, every day, every other day. Like, I'm like, dude, where do you get all these beats from? Like, wow, that's an amazing talent to me. So if you're looking for a theme song for your channel, you have to check out E Money. And I know there are other people that do music and beats and sing and all these different things. If you know them, drop them in the chat. That's cool with me. But I want to make sure everybody's getting their shine. Another round of applause for the baby's booty. She hit 50K on YouTube. Say what? 50,000 subscribers. So we salute her. If you're looking for rhinestones in bulk, I'm talking about 250 plus gross, baby. Like you all into the bling. You have to check out Eve at The Baby's Booty. The Baby's Booty. If you're looking for that, all right? If you are looking for, who else we got in here? Dimps. Dimps is in a class by herself. Dimps, let the people know what you offer. because I don't want to shortchange you. But Dimps is a seamstress just like Unbiased. She's learning embroidery. She's making t-shirts. She's making jewelry, earrings. Like, there aren't too many things these ladies cannot do, okay? So if you want to sew, you need something made, Dimps, you can't go wrong with Dimps Designs, Unbiased LLC, Mike Tees, he does t-shirts, obviously, Mike Tees. I'm telling you, Marcella's Way. You have Passionately Intrigued Arts, Tracy. You have her, Passionately Intrigued Arts. These individuals are taking the crafting world by storm. They're not playing with us. You hear me? If they don't inspire you and tell you it's time for you to shift and pivot something in your business, if you are a crafter, child, I don't know who will. And the cream of the crop, none other than the best uni. If you're wondering if something works, she gonna let you know if it works, or she gonna try it. Because like she said, she nosy. This is her theme song. She nosy and she just want to see. And she's gonna see whether it works or not. She gonna try it. So if you are curious if something goes together, if something will work, go over to the best uni. Go over to her channel, and trust me, you're going to find something that's going to inspire you. If nobody else on this whole platform inspires you, she will. All right? So I want to make sure, absolutely, Dimps, I have to. She says she's a seamstress, t-shirts, sublimation, embroidery, vinyl, jewelry, resin projects. So if you need any of that, that's Dimps Designs. So make sure y'all go over and support her. Look through her channel, enjoy her videos, inbox her. It's Dimps Designs. Just look for her. Instagram, YouTube, leave her a message if you need some help with something. She's there. All of these crafters are there. A lot of these people here are crafters. If you need t-shirts made for your company, hook them up. Look them up. Look them up. Look them up. I'm telling you. Don't be going to somebody you don't know that's out there, maybe in your local area. Support your crafters here on YouTube. Support them because they're supporting you. A lot of them are sharing your content. A lot of them are sharing your lives. Go support the individuals that's supporting you. I'm telling you what they do. This is why I want y'all to tell me who's out there in these YouTube streets that's doing it above and beyond, so I can tell the people. Don't keep it to yourself. Tell me so I can tell the people too. I want to know. So if I'm missing someone, say, hey, Kim, what about me? Or what about her? Or what about him? Let me know. Because that's what we're here for. I'm not a lip service person. If I support you, I support you. If I love you, I love you. I want to see you succeed. That's how I roll. Because I feel like I'm doing you and God a disservice if I just keep it to myself. So let me go on and give you this nugget, and I'm going to get on up out of here. Well, Lord, I've been way too long. I'm going to be talking about some things as far as trademarks. My next video, for those of you, anybody in here want to start a clothing brand? Just curious. Just say me. You could just say me in the comments. Because if there's nobody in here, I'm not even going to bring it up. But is there anybody in here thinking between this year, next year, or at some point you're going to start your own clothing brand? Because I have something absolutely, sweethearts. Okay, Geeky Girls Journal. She says she has books for kids. I love kids' books. I'm definitely going to go to your channel. Matter of fact, let me write that down so I don't forget. Because I love kids' books. Because I am a part of a homeschool community. So when I find good books like that, I love to share it with the community and let them know, hey, you might want to check out this book for your children. Because there's a lot of homeschooling moms and dads here around me. And so I love to let them know, hey, here's a golden book you might want to check out. So I would definitely be checking you out, Geeky Girls. Let's see what we got. You're not by yourself, Kim. With the same grandkids, be like grandma, you don't know how to play. Girl, my daughter will tell you, mama has no clue, none. I'm going to stay in my lane. Okay, Taryn says me. Okay, cool. All I needed was one. I'm going to be telling you some key points if you're going to be launching a clothing brand. In my next video, I don't know if I'm going to do a pre-recorded video, if I'm going to do a live. It's definitely not going to be as long as this. But I'm going to show you the key points that you need to be aware of before you go and try to trademark your brand. It's one thing to launch it, but there are key things you have to have on your garments, be it hat, shoes, t-shirts, pants, whatever. You have to have certain things on those garments to be able to make it past the USPTO. So I want to cover that. And in that same video or live stream, I'm going to show you how, let me see here. I think I still got it over here. Well, I thought I had a piece over here. Did I move it, Jesus? Okay, I don't see it. Oh, there's so much stuff in here. All right, forget it. I had a piece over here, though. I don't know where I put it. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. How this. All of my crafters and t-shirt makers, y'all know what this is. Vinyl. How this can play a key role in your t-shirt brand. This is just a piece of scrap vinyl. So before you throw away your scraps, you may not want to miss that video, especially if you're thinking about launching your clothing brand. I'm going to show you something that piece of scrap is going to help you meet the requirements of the USPTO when you want to launch your own clothing brand. So stay tuned. This will be happening next week. I will be either going live or releasing a pre-recorded video breaking down a few key points you have to keep in mind for your clothing brand. So these are the things I share. And like I always say, and I cannot believe I did not say this at the top of the show, but I was emotional. This is a channel where I promise to never leave you uneducated. That is my theme song. That is my theme, my tag. That's what I say, and that's what I mean. And you will never arrive at any one of my videos being uneducated. I believe uneducation is what's hurting a lot of us and keeping a lot of us stagnant. And I want to do everything within my power to fix that. That's the least I can do. If God blesses me, it's my job to go back and bless others. I made that promise to my grandmother, and I have to keep it until God calls me home. So I want to take time now just to thank each and every one of y'all for being here. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for listening and understanding. Thank you for your feedback in the comments. Thank you for every like, share. Those of you that's joined the channel, thank you for being here. God bless you. May God continue to shine his face upon you. May everything you do and touch be blessed. May your household be blessed. May your families be blessed from generation to generation. Until the next time God allows us to come together, as I always say, continue to be blessed. Don't let your light be dimmed by anybody for any reason. Keep shining. Keep being great. And until the very next time God allows us to come together and have great, exciting discussions as this, take a moment every single day of your life to enjoy your journey. God bless each and every one of you. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Till the next time, guys, be blessed.